Welcome, everybody. Unfortunately, I had to dump my previous recording that I spent a couple of hours on in the first just 2 minutes of the map. But that is fine. We are going to redo recording number one, and we might finish the entire recording today, depending on how I specifically feel. So we're going to go back into replays, pull up my replay stream number one. This is the lower level lobby. Here we are in game. The first thing that I always like to go over is kickoff. Kickoffs is one of the most important things in Rocket League. So we have TMG Ghost going up against Heavy right now. I'm going to slow this down to about 5%. Cool. So right off the bat, Heavy's going full boost. TMG Ghost isn't boosting at all. So Heavy has a very slight advantage from boosting off start. TMG Ghost is a little bit slower off the boost. Heavy's full boost. So even in that slight millisecond of kickoff, Heavy has the advantage here. As you see them getting closer and closer to the ball, I want you to notice a couple of things. One, both of them get to this first boost pad, neither one of them flips. Two, I want you to notice that Spooketh is hardcore cheating up. Their guy is going for that boost. Their other guy is flipping over to grab that boost. As they get closer, that little bit of space that Heavy got from boosting earlier gets him to the ball slightly faster. Spooketh is coming in for a hardcore cheat. I am ducks in line. I'm going to move up a little bit more. The worst thing that can happen here is if Ghost somehow claps Heavy coming into the ball, and he gets a clear that goes straight over all of our heads and goes into our goal and scores. We are 110% screwed at that particular point. That is a immediate turnover. What should have happened is from start, Spooketh should have never went past this first boost. If he's going to cheat, going to this first boost and staying is more than enough time to have reactionary time to get here. Unless Heavy straight up calls it out, take the shot, I'm going for the 50 or something like that. There is no reason for Spooketh to be this close to the ball. Now, me, I should have either went for boost, turned back towards goal, and picked up a defensive position here, or I should have just, from here, grabbed the boost pad and then went here. I could have went out. I could have parked my car here. I could have parked my car out there. I could have parked my car in there. Any particular way. Any of the four, strongest defense points in the game. Essentially, if it goes past you and it goes up, it's going to either go to this corner or it's going to go up into that corner. So, that's what I should have typically did in this situation, is I should have stayed back and covered goal. Spooketh have either went for a boost in this corner, or he should have stayed at the first boost pad that's here and waited in reaction to what's going to happen next, whether he wants to go for this ball if it stays here, or if the ball continues along this way or continues along this way. Let me do this in yellow. We'll now have the reaction to go this way and pick up ball if it goes here, or he can go this way on the opposite side and pick it up if it goes up the wall over there. When you get into these situations, you have to keep in mind on which boost you're going for versus everything else. You'll have a guy positioned here, you'll have a guy positioned here, and generally you'll have a guy either over in the corner like you see, or a guy that's a little bit further. The person going for kickoff has the right to both boosts on both sides. You should never go for these boosts until you see where your teammate's going. Even if you cheat up, like Spooketh did to here, and the ball gets pushed to this side, you should not go through and go for this boost. You should leave that for your teammate. The only thing you're trying to do is cover ball. You should go immediate ball, cover ball when it gets up to the top. And either pass the ball down to your teammate that's going for this boost to control, or you can dribble, take control, do whatever, send ball this way, or send the ball out. Anyway, depending on where your teammates are located at. This is where the majority of Rocket League trouble comes from kickoff. Is people not knowing how to do proper kickoffs and not knowing how to go for the ball. If you're low level and everybody's generally crap at the game, just stick with the regular rule. Left goes. Just stay with that rule. If you're low level lobby, left goes. Stick with it. It makes it very simple. Now, I'm here, let's say, a regular kickoff. One will be here, one will be here, and then one generally takes lead here, or they spawn over here, or they spawn over in this back corner. No matter where they spawn, they're either going to go for a kickoff, flip through and go for this boost, or they're going to go for this particular boost right here. These side boosts in the middle are theirs. So he spawned like over here this kickoff, and he's going towards ball now. Generally, what he's going to do here is he's going to 50 through, whether he wins or not, and he's going to pick up this boost. Now, you being the guy that's right here on the right of kickoff, you need to keep your priorities only for going for this corner boost. Or if you're going to be the guy who cheats, you need to cheat up using all of these available boost pads going forward. Again, I don't recommend doing the full-fledged cheat because you are relying on the fact that this ball is going to stay exactly where it is, so you can take a shot onto their particular goal and try to make a score. If this particular situation doesn't happen, you'll find yourself being out of position and in an unusable position for quite some time. If you have a teammate that's generally like me, I'll sit in goal and chill back to where I can pick up any detritus that comes along. But I'm doing a low-level lobby here, and I'm actually trying to get, replays of what people commonly make mistakes on. Plus, it's a low-level lobby, so I didn't typically care. But you don't want to go for these hyper-risky plays unless you have a teammate that stays back, especially not off the very first kickoff. Very first kickoff of the game, you have, unless you're in a party, of course, you have no idea if any of these guys are AFK, whether they're here or not, whether you need to cover a position, whether they're weak at kickoffs, what they're going to plan, unless they directly tell you. So you are going to end up giving yourself a very hard time if you think every teammate plays the exact same in Rocket League. So he's generally going to flip through and then go for this particular boost. Keep in mind what I said earlier about this particular teammate to the right. He can either cheat up to the very first boost, and I guess I should actually fix this to where we actually spawn up. We'll spawn here and here. And the boost that I'm talking about that he can cheat up to is right here. That way you're not all up in there and you have time to react. Generally, I say you shouldn't go past this beginning boost here, but you're not going to have enough reactionary time to get to this ball all the way up here if you cheat back, or if you stay back that far. So I wouldn't go anywhere as farther than this particular boost that's chilling right here. There's no need to. Being here gives you options. Or going for the boost in the corner gives you options. Going as far up as Spooketh is gives you no options. Either you're going to just completely commit to it and the ball is going to go wherever and you're going to be out in field in an unusable position, or things are going to go well, the ball is going to stop there, you're going to need an instant shot. Now, anybody going and getting boost, like for example me, getting boost, grabs this boost and turns back in to cover their goal, should in essence be able to save the ball after the instant shot, especially if you're paying attention to what's going on. You don't have to go all the way and get this boost. If I recognize that at right here, the ball is staying in the middle and they 50'd it and the ball has not moved, I can from here stop, turn around, and continue this same line going back. I'll show here. I can turn around, I can go back, and I can end up in the same defensive position. Yeah, I'm not going to have a huge amount of boost, but I mean, I shouldn't be using all of my boost from the start to go get big boost, to use more boost to get back. You know what I'm saying? You can cut off all the big boost usage by just cutting off all of this extra length that you would have to go and all this extra boost. Cut the time and you cut the boost by turning back early and then heading back to this situation to where you can cover this goal. And that's all you have to do for the most part. So me, my only job that I have at this particular moment is to either chill here in a defensive position to cover all of this that's goal, or I can go get boost, go back, or if I see things are gonna wonky, I go back and I cover for the impending shot that's gonna come in. That's my only job, is when things go south off kickoff, is to send things back. I am now the back man because Spooketh cheated up. Spooketh, if he would have stopped here, if things go awry and the ball stops, you stopped on a boost, you have a flip, you have boost as well to continue your momentum and gain it to continue that forward momentum. That is more than enough field to get things through. This amount of length he has now, the only thing he can do is either boost into it or he can flip into it. But by the time he lands, he's going to end up getting a low 50, and anybody going higher than him is going to just hit the ball off the top of him over. It's either going to hit top wall, or if it's perfect, it'll just zoom in. You don't want to be the guy that pinches the ball with the opponent and the ball just goes super fast into your goal. It feels bad and it's unnecessary. And you want to avoid situations like that, especially if you're not good at 50s. So we've already said Heavy is going to challenge this ball, and he's going to immediately, because he was on this side, he should immediately flip over and get this. This doesn't mean that Spooketh should go get the other corner boost. Because if Spooketh heals off and goes and gets this corner boost up here, one, he is wasting space because he's going to have to boost off, flip, grab this, and immediately boost back to cover goal. So he's going to go from here and end up coming all the way back around like this, which is redundant and shouldn't be done under any circumstances. That is a waste of time. That is a waste of effort. That's why you stay in your zone. If you do make the mistake and go up too far, there are boost pads everywhere. So one here, here, here. There'll be one here and here. Well, this opposite mirrored over here. So there'll be one here and one here that you can get back. And you can say, oh crap, I made a mistake, cut back in, take whatever boost pads and try to pick up a defensive position. But by that time, you should also be checking to see if your goalie or your very bad person, is in a usable position. This is hard to do under the course of a couple of seconds you have off kickoff, which makes things very risky. If Spooketh panics, goes back real quick, and hits me, or gets in the way of my particular clear or fakes me going for something that he can't reach, it could be a goal just based off of interference from your teammate. This is why I should have chilled or went for this boost and turned around and stacked up, and Spooketh should have kept his butt back here and went for this boost in the corner. And 1, 2, 3, corner boost ends up being Spooketh. I go for the side. Heavy goes for either this boost, or if something weird happens and he gets bumped, he can pick up a secondary boost over here in this corner. Now, what generally ends up happening is, and I don't understand why people do this, is people who are on this corner kickoff like to fake backwards and immediately fake backwards for this particular corner boost that's in this area. And what ends up happening is the guy that's in this corner by the boost and the guy that's right here on the other side end up going for the same boost. And it ends up creating issues and problems. There are set basic rotations for kickoffs for a reason, to prevent that from happening. Do not fake kickoff and flip backwards, especially in a low-level lobby. Low-level people generally will go for the both back corner boosts, which are rightfully theirs. That is what they can get to in time and get back to goal in a reasonable time. Don't be that guy that fakes back and then your other teammates like, well, I got to go all the way up in field now, because you're going to create a lot of issues. And if you do make the mistake of flipping back and getting that corner boost, you need to immediately come up this position in goal right here, and you need to get ready to defend, because you're giving them a free shot. If you want to fake and do anything, I recommend going through and instead of touching the ball here, you just go past and go and collect the boost that you're supposed to collect. Definitely tell your teammates that you're faking, unless they're higher level lobbies, but we're not in high level right now. So definitely tell your teammates you're going for a fake before that, or the ball's just going to go straight into your goal. So like I said, the guy on left, you need to either protect your goal, or if you're the cheater, depending, both of you guys have roles. One of you is generally going to cheat, or one of you is going to immediately go out and get boost. Both of you going out and getting corner boost is just fine, as long as you turn back around and cover your goal afterwards. Do not go, grab boost, and then turn out. Because what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to get back in time. So me, for example, if I'm here and I spawn and I go here and then I turn out and the ball ends up at anywhere this direction towards goal or anything else, I'm not going to be able to get back in time. Because what you have to do now is you have to turn around, turn back in, and then come like this. One, when you go back in and come in like this, your car is going to be faced in towards goal. So any type of saves that you're going to have to do, you're going to have to save the ball that way, to the left. Or you're going to have to hit the ball right here off, and it's going to come spieling out directly behind you. You have two options there. And a fast moving ball towards goal. You hit it off the right, or you hit it off the left. Anybody watching you struggle and do things like that instantly know that those are the two saves you got. So they're either going to wait here and they're just going to score the ball after you clear it, or they're going to wait here behind you and they're going to score the ball after you hit it. And you've done that to yourself by being out of position. Most of Rocket League is about positioning. You don't want to end up in a position to where you can't cover your goal, or you can't cover ball, or you can't cover play at any time. And I'm going to say this earlier. If one of your teammates is in any particular corner, you should not be there. There should not be two teammates in the same position, ever. No matter the situation, ever. Even if the ball's going in for a demo play or something that involves a corner, you should not be in the same position. If you go for a demo, you should either make them jump fake, demo them, and then you should be gone. Way before ball gets anywhere near that particular situation. You should be in and out, gone, and you should be back and trying to cover as quick as possible. Don't do any of that craziness. Don't go in, get a demo, and then try to squishy off the top of the goal and try to continue your momentum backwards, because all you're going to do is end up saving a ball. When you squishy out of a goal, you are limiting your teammate and where they can put the ball. Don't do all of that squishiness. Come in at a sideways angle to where you can just come through, swoop everybody, that's in front of the goal, bump, and then continue to get out of the way. Because if you go inwards towards goal and try to squishy, you are blocking a potential area where your teammate can score. Don't do that. I see it all the time when people go for especially unnecessary demos. But I'm not going to get into demos unless it actually happens during this particular replay, and I don't think it does. Again, we're looking at the very initial kickoff. We're like, 15, 20, 30 minutes in, and we're still looking at the very initial kickoff, and I'm going to make sure everybody gets kickoffs. So now, everybody knows what everybody's supposed to do in this situation. If you don't, let me know, and I might just pull you into a voice chat or something, and we can go over another replay that you've possibly done and get things sorted. Now, we have the directions. I go here. Spooketh should be way back here, deciding what he wants to do, coming up to this first boost. Farthest as he should ever be. Or going for this boost, turning back towards goal. I should be going in, turning back towards goal, but also looking at ball to see if I can make that distance. Heavy's going for kickoff. So now we're going to go back into gameplay. Again, TMG Jost has this due to just being fast. Heavy was a little bit off to the right of his kickoff, which would have netted him this goal if he hadn't done what he was about to do. So as of now, TMG Ghost, if he had fixed his angle ever so slightly and came from the side, he would have gotten a much cleaner kickoff. Or if he would have been able to speed flip and he came in a better angle to pop that around, or even he could have even gotten over to this side. But as we see, Heavy flips. Before Heavy had any idea of what to do, he could have had the ball past him. Those of you who don't know, speed flip saves you about that much speed, or that much length on the ball, which is why speed flips are very effective over regulars. He would be touching the ball right now, and this guy would be in the position that he's in right now if he would have speed flipped, and he would have all of that room to put the ball wherever he wanted to right now. Learn speed flips. But as we go through, TMG Ghost keeps his line that he has on the ball lined up. Heavy is having second thoughts. Instead of looking at the core of the opponent, he's looking at the fact that, oh, I'm off center of ball. And he starts to flip to the left, which ruins his kickoff here. Look at your opponent's car on kickoff. And this stuff right here won't happen to you. That is phase 2 of said kickoff. So, we're going to go a little bit personal. We're going to review this replay from both sides. He can't see anything because of his camera angle, which is fun. If you can't see anything because of your camera angle, that means that the other person is, directly center of ball. So you can ascertain their position because you can't see their car, or if they have a short name, if you can't read their name tag, you know they're on the other side of the ball, lined up with it. So the only thing you need to know is, whether or not they're faking, etc., etc. You need to just keep those options that are available in your head. He's either going full speed at the ball, he's either going away from the ball, or he's faking and waiting on you to make the next move, or any other types of moves like that. Keep that in your mind, the options that that person can be doing, and don't just walk up to the ball and blast it, because sometimes that's the wrong answer. So we'll go back through and we'll watch TMG Ghost and how he wins this kickoff. Speed it up. So he keeps his car on the ground the entire time, just holding boost from kickoff. At this moment, he's not even supersonic. He's just going regular speed. He's losing so much speed by doing this. He turns in, he can see the edge of his opponent's car and all of that, and more of the heavies in what he's doing. He can always see Spooketh, and he can see me and what we're doing. One of the reasons why he came in at the angle that he did. As he sees what's going on, he jumps, and he's going to push that ball. Now, if Heavy would have been dead on and hadn't have been slow, he could have easily gotten this. If he would have speed flipped, he could have easily gotten this because of all the adjustment. But TMG didn't get punished because of the adjustment, because the small time he took doing that adjustment, he got from taking off as soon as the game allowed him to start. Some of that could have been latency, but if you see on the other side, it wasn't latency. He was just slow to push. TMG stayed straight. Now all TMG is doing is angling his car to where he thinks he's going to lose this kickoff to make it push off towards the left side so his teammate can pick it up. He's already compensated for the loss that he thinks he's going to have. Heavy flips to the left, getting a very small touch, but since TMG already projected this and edited his car to where he would push it out to the side, it's gone. That is a successful win, TMG's side. Now, let's watch Heavy's kickoff. He goes, I can do this at like 50%. He's not paying attention to anything. He's just literally boosting straight. He is doing the bodiest of bot kickoffs. He's literally just boosting straight. He's not turning towards ball. He's not doing anything. Anybody that plays Rocket League for longer than 5 minutes notice that, hey, on kickoffs, they don't start you directly at the ball. They start you past it. They line you up like that because they know people are going to flip and do things like that to try to realign themselves, etc., etc. So you do not start straight looking at the ball on most kickoffs. You look past the ball. There are some exceptions, obviously. But no, he's literally bot kickoffing. He's going straight. Boom, 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 boom. It's not till here where he starts to turn. And because of this awkward pathing that he takes, is what gives him, well, the dumbest touch in the history of touches. Anybody that speed flips him or just fast kickoffs him is going to win every time. Anybody uses a fast kickoff or a speed flip is going to win this kickoff 100% of the time. All he's doing is going straight, and then he is coming the turn back in. At this point here, you can see TMG as you're coming in. If you're going to do this long and around kickoff that I use occasionally, you want to make sure you are center ball when you come in. You want to be absolutely, positively center ball. If you are not center ball, they are going to destroy you every single time. You have to be center ball. That is the only requirement of a long and around kickoff like this. And like I said, any fast kickoff or speed kickoffs, you're getting dumped on. He jumps, perfectly turns sideways. Everything's perfect. He can even see the other person's car and see that they're coming in at an angle to where he can counter. For whatever reason, he panics and flips to the left. And as he flips to the left, his car barely, and I mean barely, scrapes through there and keeps that ball going to the side instead of straight into our corner and giving TMG even more ball control to just go up and score or pass or do whatever he needs to do. So Heavy ruining kickoff. which goes to regular play. I think I'm going to do a fly camera and we are going to follow everybody and see what they are doing afterwards. Now, one, because Heavy got this really just dumb kickoff, he came to middle and then flipped. He ended up fully committing out into a part of the field that he really can't use at this moment. So as he lands, which takes a while because he is zooming, bang, he corrects himself. Now, we're not even going to look at the ball to see where it happened or anything like that. As he lands here, this is what gets low levels in trouble. If you're low level, I'm going to give you time, a couple of seconds, to describe to me the path that you would take to get back to goal and cover it. You obviously would have ball camera, you would have a situation type camera and things like that. So you're going to be able to see more. But as of now, as this sits, and this isn't necessarily you're in the position of Heavy. What would you do in this particular situation? There we go. You are Heavy. You are here. I'm kind of giving you a hint by showing you. But what would you do in this situation? I can tell you right now, if your answer is to keep going forward, which you now know that Sneaky Turtle's already there for the boost, you're already wrong. Go back to the drawing board. What should you do in this particular situation? I gave you more than enough time. Now, take whatever you are thinking. I'm going to show you player view. This is what you're seeing. You're just now landing. You have no idea where to go. I showed you the solution, but now I'm showing you player view. Now what do? You can't see anything in the field. All you can see is a small boost and a big boost pad. What do? If your answers changed in between the two scenes, which I guess I should have showed you in reverse order, this and the other scene, you're getting somewhere in life. If your answers haven't changed and it's the correct answer, okay, maybe you're a little bit more knowledgeable or you've had somebody teach you. If your answer is to grab the small boost, go to the big boost, and then turn around, you are unfortunately wrong. So in every aspect of the word, wrong. So we'll go to fly none. I gave you the right answer. These are going to get harder, trust me. And anybody that's low level, these are going to get way harder. This is like Dora the Explorer easy right now. Now, let's show you the correct answer. What you should have correctly done is immediately turn back in, grab this boost, came through, grab this boost, and then settled in right here. This is if nobody goes back. Because, I mean, even if you got the correct answer of doing that, I guarantee you're still wrong. This is the most correct answer out of the three situations you have. Either going this way and going for their boost, going this way, getting big boost, or going in like this. Some people might have actually been half correct, grabbed this, came back, grabbed this boost bit, and this boost in this particular corner. This is incorrect, this is incorrect, this is partially correct, and this is more than partially, but 3/4 of the way correct. So, the more to the left as you're going back towards goal, the more correct you are. And before you start arguing about, once you're there, you have time to pick that up, I'm about ready to explain to you what the correct answer is. Listen. Shut your mouth and open your mind. From here, and you're landing, you should immediately be turned back. If you're a speedy boy and you have any boost remaining, you're going to want to get back as quick as possible, which sometimes doesn't end up being this particular first path. If you have boost left over, you might want to cut a couple of boosts and then head straight in like this as fast as possible. Or if the ball ends up over there in front of you, instead of continuing that path, maybe you want to cut across and around to cover this particular side. But the correct answer is, first thing you want to do is you want to head back on this path and get to this boost. As soon as you get to this particular boost right here, you want to, as you're moving along, either the blue or orange line, it doesn't matter. You want to ascertain everything that's going on in the particular situation as you get here to the green X. As soon as you get to this green X and you've picked up one boost pad, you are now useful even if you have no boost. You have boost now. If your other teammates are heading back to cover, if you have somebody back to cover and things like that, and you have somebody that's in this particular area to cover this net, then the action that you're going to do is completely different than if nobody else goes back and the other two keep pushing forward. Versus they somehow get control of ball in this situation and they make a play forward. Versus whether they split up or they stay together or anything like that. By the time you get to this particular area, to here, you should have a grasp on the situation, on whether you want to completely head over and grab this boost, whether or not you can grab a couple of boost pads here and go this way, or whether or not you need to get back as quick as possible and cover this area right here. Or if you're in a good position and they manage to get control of ball and pass it in your direction, you might want to turn back in here and redirect the ball for a shot. Guess what? This path is still wrong going into their corner. That boost is gone. There's no reason for you to be in the corner. Even if the ball whizzes over your head and heads in that particular direction, you have no reason to go into that corner. They have a guy in that corner that has a full boost. So I'm just going to remove that from the equation. Anybody that guessed over in that particular corner, you are so far off base that I recommend you getting either a Rocket League coach or having a sit down and talking with somebody. Now, from here, again, if you can get into a usable position and your teammates get control of ball, and you have one teammate going up and challenging, and you have your other teammate going back to cover goal, then you don't need to go back to goal if you got a teammate covering goal. You have all of these other general options that you can take. You can take here, you can take here, you can take here. Pay attention to the direction your teammate's facing. If he's facing this direction, then his clear is going to be, anywhere in this angle. So, the ball's going to come out anywhere in this particular angle where he can save it. Most likely, it's going to go in this particular area, but if a person comes in and the ball comes out like here, you're going to end up being in the strike zone. So pay attention to where your teammate's faced. If your teammate is sitting in goal, facing outwards, he has a huge, and I mean huge, angle that he can pass it. Anywhere from this on and from there on, he's going to have a heck of an angle that he can get the ball to you just by touching it. I mean, this goes out here and out there. If your teammate's here and the ball comes to it and you're stuck in a position like this, then keep in mind that you're still in the strike zone. You can still, turn around and come back into this. When you're in this position here, because this is what we're going off of, you can turn back in and hit that strike zone at a multitude of places to try and make a goal from there. If the ball is heading towards your goal, then you obviously don't want to go this way. Now, I know the solution. The ball ends up going back towards our goal. So, if you said to grab this boost, it just means that you are generally inexperienced. It is fine to be inexperienced. You didn't make a mistake. You're just going off of your first instinct of, hey, I need to get back, or hey, I need to do something. What happens is you waste your boost here. You grab the boost here. You waste that boost to get here. And then you waste this particular boost as you're coming back here. And by the time you get here, you have no boost really for the save, or you have extremely low boost. And some people even stop here and grab this boost and then keep wasting boost to get here and have wasted the majority of their boost. You see how long and convoluted this path is as you're going around, and all of the boost that you grabbed here is being wasted and wasted and wasted and wasted, back to back to back to back. Anything that is going towards your half of the court, you should not be stopping to get this particular boost. There's no point, there's no merit. You're going to end up stopping to grab this boost, and then you're going to have to end up going in this situation to try to get this boost. If it's on the opponent's half, then you can incorporate this boost if you have somebody back. If it's on this side and both of your teammates are up, go ahead and head on back. You have time, make a check and see if you have time to get this other boost before you get it. You always want to make sure you're in an area to where you can save goal or control ball before you worry about getting boost. And as you're going back towards that position, you want to grab any boosts that are available on the way, if that makes sense. So anybody that went for this particular boost, which I know a majority of you did, don't lie. The people that say that, no, I didn't think about that, generally just use their critical thinking skills. It had nothing to do with their actual in-game experience or anything like that. So I ask you to stay honest with yourself and ask yourself, in this situation, where would I go? Because right now, you can't see this angle we're sitting at. I showed you the player view where you could see, everything in that corner or not. You're not even aware that these are there unless you've played the game long enough. So be honest with yourself. You ain't honest with yourself, you're wasting your time. I'm making a guide to help people, but you're wasting your time in being at this guide. From here, this is your first, I guess we'll say, checkpoint. You should be able to see what's going on as you're heading back. As you start heading back more and more, and you start picking up boost pads, which I think the next boost pad is here, you should still have a clear picture at this point right here of what you need to do. So you went from one boost pad to the second boost pad, which is somewhere generally in this area. You should have a clear picture in your head of what you need to do. Whether or not the ball is headed towards their side of the field, and you can slide back and around and grab this middle boost now, because it's open and you have somebody back and somebody up with the ball. You can turn on that. You're going to be faster than the goalie ever can. It's fine to turn on those. If your team doesn't have control of the ball and the ball is still heading towards goal, again, you need to make that executive decision to continue along grabbing boost and try to go there. If you are the first person back, this is where things get interesting and where they get complicated. Rotation dictates you just come back around and you hit this and then you go back out. That's low level rotation. And then you come back. Why positioning is more important than rotation. Rotation is just the basic thing you're supposed to do. From here, you're supposed to rotate back to goal and then rotate on, back into helping the play or rotating the ball or whatever. And you just make rotations. Positioning is more complicated because from here, you need to ascertain, again, a second check of where your teammates are. You mean you can have your ball camera on and seeing what everything's happened, but you should know where your teammates are, whether they are going to push for ball, whether or not they're heading back towards goal, whether or not they're going for a save, whether or not they're shadowing ball, or anything like that. You should be aware of what your teammates are going to do. And these are split second decisions as you're going around. Very split second decisions. Now, I'm going to throw you a curveball. Once you get beyond this half court mark, this, all of this, anywhere that's from half court or not, is a no flip zone. You should not be flipping when you are below half court unless you know what you're doing. I find that a lot of low levels flip, and especially they front flip. They don't even cross flip or anything like that, or faster or superior flip. They front flip. Do not front flip your way anywhere from this half court section all the way through unless you know how to properly flip. It's extremely important because once your wheels are off the ground, you have no control over where your car is going unless you boost. But if you're doing these flips and you're not flying, you have no control. You can speed up how fast and how far you go, but you have no control over your car. Keep that in mind. You want to flip as less as possible when the ball is heading towards your side and you know you're going to have to make an immediate action. Do not flip. When you're on your way back and like here, or when you're just now getting to this part, you can flip, but once you reach this area, past the half court zone, you should not be flipping. At higher levels, when you learn your positioning and you know how far you can go and where the ball can go, okay, incorporate some flips. Until then, no. Just continue to go from boost pad, the boost pad, the boost pad, and learn boost management. So by the time you get supersonic from where you're starting here and you're continuing on, I do recommend wave dashes and things like that instead of front flipping if you have to get that initial speed. So you're not flipping and then flipping and then flipping. You can just wave dash and then boost and immediately get up to supersonic. Once you get supersonic, there's no reason to waste any more boost unless you're going for a extremely quick play or an extremely quick shot that you need that little extra speed boost that you get. Supersonic and boosting is faster than just supersonic. Don't let anybody lie to you and tell you that once you hit supersonic, you can't get any more speed. That is a bold-faced lie. You can go supersonic and boost and get more speed. You can test that in free play with a buddy if you want to. It's not very much, but it is a boost in speed. Once you get to this second spot, I wish I could just cut that off and get rid of all of this, but it is what it is. If you have nobody heading back towards goal or anybody covering goal, you need to immediately cover goal. Don't worry about anything else except for getting back to goal. Sometimes things change, but you need to just head back on this blue line. So, again, if you are the back man and you need to get back, this particular area right here is not for you. If you aren't the back man, somebody else is covering for you, then you should consider grabbing big boost and then being either a support for the person that's defending here to pick up the rebound or next touch or whatever. Or if it's a person over here defending, you should then turn back and get ready to receive any type of potential pass towards you. There's already a guy in goal. There's no reason for you to go in the goal. And that comes to the second point that I would like to talk about is that don't stack up in goal. Let your teammate know, take the shot, things like that. Now, if your teammate's sitting middle goal, and you're coming in from right here and you're on the side, that's a different story. Or if your teammate's sitting middle goal and you coming in and you're turning around to get behind them, that's a different story. But there shouldn't be two of you just chilling and go like this, you waiting on that particular person to go, and you just sitting there, and then you get mad at them because they didn't go. You have every option to just cut them and continue to go towards ball if they don't want to go. That's on you if you both get scored on. It's on you if you're both sitting middle goal and you're not sitting in a usable position along the side or covering them. If they jump up and you let them take their shot and they put the ball down right here and they immediately get scored on, that's on you for after he put the ball down, not going up and making a touch out of the way to cover them. I shouldn't use that non-orange, but it is what it is. So you need to keep in mind, but we haven't even gotten to that point yet. Now, we are to the second X. As you're coming back, and you get to the third X, which just so happens to be the next boost pad. Funny how that works. This is the last time that you can look, and this is the last time before you have to make an action. That action can be doing nothing. That action can be going. That action can be doing anything. By that time, you're here. You are within the strike zone or save zone of the goal. You can generally cover about that part of the goal efficiently until you get closer, obviously. So from here, you should have made up your mind whether or not, hey, I'm the back guy. I need to post up. Hey, I have time. I can get this boost and then turn back towards goal. Or if there's a guy here, I can turn out of goal and he's going to pass it over to me. Or maybe you need to chill right here if he's sitting like perfectly parallel and not actually out, perfectly parallel. Maybe you need to chill here to pick up the ball as it comes a pass or across to you. So, when it comes to that particular process, it all comes to knowing where your teammates are and having that situational awareness. Situational awareness is another thing that low levels do not have. They'll panic, they'll go here, use this boost, go around, grab this boost, come here, and then bam, knock their teammate out of the way, and the ball will just get shot over them. 9 out of 10 times, it's panicking. You shouldn't have to panic if you have the correct positioning. Going this way, you're going to get there a lot quicker than going over here and going here, or going out to here and then coming back around. You're going to get there way quicker, which is going to give you that extra couple of seconds that you require to get things done. And again, this is off the very first kickoff. I went over all of this content. The very first 7 seconds of the game, I gave so much content. Why am I going over kickoffs so thoroughly? Because kickoffs are majorly where most people make a mistake. They don't know how to follow through on kickoffs, and they don't know the proper positioning on where you need to go after kickoffs. If you are the last man and you have ascertained your positioning from here, whether or not, you've made that conscious thought that, hey, I have to go for this. There's no other teammates going for the ball. There's nobody, shadowing or anything like that. You've made the conscious decision to go or to defend or, do whatever you need to do. If your teammate's shadowing over here and you think you can make it, go for it. Go over here, go over their head, and go for the ball. As long as your teammate's in a position to where they can go back and cover because they're shadowing. If your teammate's shadowing, they generally are going to shadow in a way to where if the ball is shot, they can get a touch on it to either put it out over here or out over there or anything like that. Teammate who's shadowing doesn't have eyes on you, which is why it's very important to sit in these back locations or over to the side here or there. So as they're shadowing in, you guys aren't going to collide. And whoever's the back man needs to have eyes on that situation. You are the one to prevent people from colliding, which is why you want to get there fast and ascertain locations to see what's going on, So you're not bumping into your teammates, or teammate doesn't shadow early and jump and you end up getting faked or something like that because they miss. By this time, you should have a conscious decision on whether or not you need to go for that or not, whether you need to chill and pick up a position here and wait for a shot or anything like that. Go time is from there. If you don't have a plan by there, you've done something wrong and you're probably going to get scored on. So from there, you're either going to take action or you're going to go here, our final destination, here, and do your final assertion. From here, at this final place, you are now the last defense to goal. You need to see, and you should know, and should be able to see everything that's going on. You should see where your teammates are, whether they're coming back, whether they're staying up for a pass on your clear, or anything like that. You now have vision of everything. You should know where you now have the ability to get information on where the entire team is. You have the ability to see where the enemy team is. You have the ability to see everything. And if you can't see anything, just flick your stick to where you can see what's going on, unless the ball is, actively flying towards you. If you got a teammate shadowing and doing whatever it is they're doing, you need to say, I got it, or tell them to go ahead and take the shot, go for it early, tell them to take the shot, tell them you got it, tell them you're defending, let your teammate know that you're in a usable position. Or, they're going to continue to shadow, and as soon as the ball's hit, they're going to jump up and try to interfere with it. If you say nothing, which is fine in this particular situation when you are the backman, just keep in mind you have to be in the position on whether you can read whether or not they're going to touch the ball, and you're going to have to pick it up directly after that, or whether they're going to miss the ball and you're going to have to be able to clear it and wherever it goes next. If you have very quick reactionary speed, you really don't have to say anything. I do, but I've been playing the game for a long time, so I can systematically generally tell where the ball is going to end up, especially in low level lobbies. They just kind of shoot the ball wherever it wants to go. Very predictable. Like I said, you are the anchor for this team. Regardless if the guy that's shadowing or the guy that's coming back or anything like that, regardless if they fail, you are the anchor of the team. The only thing the other two people coming back are they're either going to try to make the opponents lose the ball, throw the ball to take an early shot, or anything like that. That's all they're doing is posturing up and trying to make them make a mistake. You are the one solely responsible for that save. You make the decision whether or not to trust your teammate or not. You are the one at fault now that you are the back man. Now that I've stated all the different paths that Heavy can take, and we've had little trivia over even if you were right, you were probably wrong. And if you were right about everything that I just went over, then congratulations, you're good at kickoffs. Now, wait until next time when we get into the actual game and things like that that are going on, and let's see if you can keep that 100% score. I doubt you will, unless you've played the game forever and you are very well based what you're seeing. We want to find Heavy, and let's just see what goes through his head and what path that he takes. He goes around that boost, continues forward, he flips into the boost, so he's out of boost, immediately wastes all that boost, goes through, grabs another boost, comes back through, passes up that point, cuts back in, comes around, and continues the following Ghost on. We went over all of the actions that Heavy could do. Obviously, Heavy isn't a complete failure because he didn't go for that boost, but he's an experience because he immediately went for that boost. I'm going to show it again, and then we select Heavy. Player view eyes. We go back after kickoff. He still has his ball cam on. Lands, takes ball cam off. So he missed that first boost because of that. Flips with 0 boost. Grabs it. Immediately lands. Terrible landing. Continues the boost. Grabs more boost. Continues the boost. Grabs more boost when he doesn't even necessarily need it. So if I didn't have boost at this time, and I had the idea to take the ball up the side of the wall, grab boost, and try to make a play out of that, he just cut me out of that, being the one that actually saved the particular ball. He just cut that complete option out of me. He had 75 boost when he was coming back through and still running. Why pick up that corner boost again? And afterwards, there would be a corner boost back there for anybody else that needs it. Like, let's say Stanimal took Spooketh's boost. Spooketh obviously should get the boost pads in front of goal and make sure the ball is secure and tucked away before he should go for anything else. But as things sit, Heavy just took that boost. An interesting interaction that could have happened as well if Heavy hadn't picked up that boost in that corner, as Stanimal could have been baited over into our corner to grab that boost because it's there. And a lot of low levels will instantly go for a bump, and if they can't get the bump, go across and try to steal boost when it makes no sense to. Stanimal would be more usable if he actually just heads back to goal right now. But if you leave things to chance, sometimes they'll go across, make a sad attempt at a bump, and continue to go across and grab that boost, and then use all of that boost to get back. Low levels don't think about the quickest way to get back. Heavy, that was in a situation like this and could see everything that's going on, and obviously see that Spooketh isn't necessarily in the best position, and he's dealing with the opposition. I'm taking the ball up. If Sneaky dunks me right now because Heavy abandons his post of being the last man, it's going to go over my head. It's going to go into our goal. So until Spooketh gets into a semi-usable position, Heavy should not move. And what happens after this is Spooketh immediately leaves as well. Now we have a completely empty goal, and this is where low levels get scored on 90% of the time. Everybody leaves goal, and not only are you leaving goal, you're leaving goal in a line to not even cover any other excess angles of this entire side of the field here where Stanimal is on, which is what generally causes a whole bunch of issues. Spooketh, if you're going to leave, cover this particular angle just in case the ball gets pinched over to this side. We can have an immediate turnover. Heavy's already following me, which he shouldn't be. Again, he should be back here. Because what's going to either end up happening is, I'll go over this more in detail next time. But what's going to happen is after I take the ball, I'll grab the ball here. I went around, obviously, to here. The ball's sitting right here. What's going to happen in this particular play that I'm making is I'm either going to completely get dumped on, and it's going to go into goal. I might lose a 50 back. I might 50 it past right along the half court line. Or I might send it forward. And if I'm really lucky, I can score a goal. And that's because I'm on the left side. That's what you would assume that would happen. Now, if something weird happens and it ends up going this way into this particular vector from here to here, Heavy should be sitting here and can immediately just turn around and cover any type of spill out here. Heavy can cover all of this. Spooketh, if he would have just came out and went into this area, Spooketh could have covered anything in this particular area would be spookous. If he could cover all of that. Yes, it's a harsh drawing, and I'm not showing you exact angles. I know. Boo-hoo. I wasn't planning on going over that today, so I'm just giving you a rough drawing. Only thing I wanted to cover today, again, was kickoffs, because the first time I covered this, it was, oof. The kickoffs is what I want to cover now. Next time, we will pick up from around this particular area, and we will go over kickoff recovery. The reason why I'm breaking all of these down into multiple videos is because I want particular people that aren't necessarily strong in a particular mechanic, or not strong in, kickoffs, or not strong in kickoff recovery or anything like that, that can click on a video and get a super long, hour, 2 hour, 3 hour video, an informative video that goes over every possible situation of every possible angle of everything in that particular situation as it happens and as it could happen. So you're not just, getting a 20-minute YouTube video that covers every aspect of the match. You're like, oh, okay. But you're not really understanding all the extra things that can happen. I can show you 100 different situations like most YouTubers do, as they're playing, and make a remark on saying, oh, you should have did this instead. But until you understand why you should have done that, and why that was the best choice of action between all the other actions you could do, which I find myself thinking when I watch another YouTuber or a pro play, and he's like, oh, well, in this situation, you want to do that. And I'm like, well, why can't I just do the obvious thing of dribble it and then pass it to my teammate that's beside me that you just kind of passed up in that situation? And it's never covered. I mean, if you do a comment section or something like that and it picks up ground, maybe you'll get an explanation in a comment from a pro about why they didn't do that. Generally, it's, oh, well, I didn't even see that. Ha ha ha. Or I was focused in game and streaming or talking at the same time. Hello, everybody. This is post editing Q here. It is 12:25 a.m. and I've cut this monster down from an hour and a half worth of content right around an hour and 7 minutes. This has taken me 3 days to cut down and get good enough. There are some issues which I've noted throughout the video, like me using black ink on the particular screen and it not showing up. There's also a lot of jump cuts and things like that, because obviously I tried to shorten the video as much as I can while maintaining, a large amount of content. I think I'm going to stop there. I mean, I can still cut this down to about another 6 minutes and make it roundabouts and hours by taking out some of the silences in between words and things like that, but I've been doing this for a long time. This particular video that you are about to see is only like the first 2 minutes of a particular match, but this should cover just about anything that you should know about kickoffs. That's majorly what I was trying to cover here. Is, well, just a particular kickoff actually is what I recover, or that is what I talk about in a couple of locations and things like that specific to the particular first replay. It's going to take me a long amount of time to get out all 3 games, plus I'm going to need content when I'm not doing Dead by Daylight, and I have an entire time slot available now, which I'm trying to fill with editing. I finished Splinter Cell Blacklist tonight, and then I immediately hopped on and started finishing editing this particular part of the video. This is just part 1. There's going to be more covering particular situations, etc., etc. This is the low-level video and the start of the part 1 of the low level, so the first replay. So just keep in mind, as you go through this, I recorded this like, 3 or 4 days ago or something like that. I'm pretty sure I did every replay live if you just want to see everything through and get your own opinions and things like that. I did record those 3 live. I know it's at least on YouTube, archived a couple of days ago. Went through, recorded 3 replays, a low level, a medium level, and like an upper medium level. And it has been a ride. It's the first time I edited this down. I got about halfway through. And those of you that knows what Lightworks is, I had the unfortunate experience of losing my work and had to start over. Not to mention when I tried to use my other recording software, I think it's VSDC, whatever it's called. Yeah, VSDC, free video editor. I tried using that particular editor and it wouldn't open up the file of the stream, which was like MKV or something like that. So I ended up having to download or go back into OBS, remux everything into MP4, and then try to fix everything or everything comes out how it should be. This is probably the longest that I've spent recording a particular video. Generally, I just cut out, the beginning, me going into Rocket League, going into the games and things like that. And then I cut out in between lobbies and the load time. But I don't ever cut out gameplay, and that's as far as I go. This time, I went through and tried to fix everything up. I'm still, when I recorded this, I was getting sick, so I was coughing like every 2 seconds, and yes, I went through this entire clip and tried to get rid of most of the coughing sounds and things like that. I mean, it's still present, but trust me, like every 2 or 3 seconds, I would say a couple of words, and I'd have to take a drink of water, or I'd cough, or anything like that. I mean, watch the live stream, and you can tell. I would just like to say, despite any and all of that extra gobbledygook being said, I would just like to take the time to say thank you, Galanonim, thank you, Critty, or Critical Fish, thank you to Macho, and thank you to anybody else that supports and has visited my streams from now and forever. And I hope all of you guys, every day, continue to supplement your lifestyle in one way or another. My name's QTASTIC, and I'll catch you guys in the next part. Peace!